I hope you'll take a few minutes to learn how to subtract mixed numbers. We're going to be covering this in class over the next couple of days. Just want to remind you what's a mixed number. I hope you know, you should by now. It's a whole number and a proper fraction. Examples are 1 1/2, 2 3/4, 5 1/4. Anywhere where there's any number that has a whole number and a fraction is a mixed number. So we're going to learn about subtracting mixed numbers. So our problem is 2 3/4 minus 1 1/2. Just like when we're adding, the first thing we need to do is find a common denominator so that we can subtract the fractions from each other. So our fractions are 3/4 and 1/2. The lowest common denominator for 4 and 2 is 4. So we're going to multiply 3 by 1, and that's 3, and 4 times 1 is 4. And over here, we're going to multiply by 2. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. So now it's easy for us to subtract. We can subtract 2 3/4 from 1 2/4. And we can see that we know that 2 minus 1 is 1, and 3/4 minus 2/4 is 1/4. So it's really simple to do. Remember, you always have to find a common denominator first, and then you can do your subtraction. If this doesn't make sense to you or you need to hear it again, stop and go back, listen to it again, and then when you come back, we're going to learn to do renaming with subtraction. It's really fun. Okay, so I'm going to use a similar word problem that we used when we were learning to add fractions, and here's our word problem. Serena jogged 2 1/2 miles and walked 1 3/4 miles. How many more miles did she jog than walk? So how would we set that problem up? If you need to, stop the tape, take a few minutes, and think about how you would want to set that problem up. And I hope you said that the way to set up the problem is by saying 2 1/2 minus 1 3/4 equals X or question mark. Okay, same thing. What do we need to do first? We need to find a common denominator. And in this case, our common denominator is going to be 4. And so, let's see, 2 goes into 4 twice. So 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. And over here, we already have the common denominator of 4, so we can multiply by 1 over 1, or we can multiply the fraction by 1. So 3 times 1 is 3, 4 times 1 is 4. It's the same. Okay, so our problem should be 2 2/4 minus 1 3/4. There's only one little problem with this. If we only have 2, can we subtract 3 from 2? So I have 2 pencils, can I take 3 away? And the answer is no. So what are we going to do? We're going to need to make this number bigger. I wonder if you have an idea how to do that. Okay, let's take a look at it. So we have 2 2/4 minus 1 3/4. And that, what we're going to do is take that 2 and we're going to take away one of them. So this number becomes 1. And that other one, the other 1 that we took away is 4 over 4. What does 4 over 4 equal? It equals 1, that's right. So we still have 2 here, but we've expressed it differently. We're saying 1 4/4. And we're going to add the 4/4 to the 2/4, and that gives us 1 6/4. So now we're subtracting 1 6/4 from 1 3/4, and that we can do. 1 from 1 is 0, and 6 minus 3 is 3/4. So the answer is 3/4. If you need to listen to that again and figure out what I did, go ahead and do it. I'll just explain it to you really quickly one more time. Since this number, this numerator is smaller than this numerator, we can't subtract 2 from 3. So we need to change this 2/4 into a larger numerator so that we can subtract this one from it. So we're going to borrow from this 2 right here. That's going to become a 1, and we're going to make it 1 4/4. And remember, 1 4/4 is just like 2 because 4/4 is 1, and we already have 1 there. So it's still the same number. It's still 2. But we'll add 4 and the 2 together that we already had, that's 6/4. And then we can subtract 1 and 6/4 from 1 and 3/4, and our answer is 3/4. I hope that makes sense to you. We're going to be doing this, we're going to be working on this a lot, so make sure you understand it before you come back to school.